Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 2.
Yay! Part 2. It's been how many years, Kwabena?
It's been 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
2 years. It's been 2 years. These are
Whoa.
my favorite couples, The Forces.
The Forces, yeah.
But it's such amazing, though, that seeing your book that you have written, calling Shining Ever Brighter.
Yeah.
You wrote this book?
Yes, I did.
What was the inspiration behind it?
So I see that there are many young people like me in this world who are trying to, determine whether they would have a future because of their background.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I've shared with you before, Kwabena, but if you watch our YouTube channel, I did a video about how I obtained scholarship from Ghana.
Yes, that was the first video I actually saw.
To do my PhD in Canada.
Yeah.
So I come from a really poor background.
Right.
So we are 7 children. I'm the 5th born. My dad passed away when I was in the University of Ghana, level 100.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's first year.
Actually, first year. I had just started. And I mean, life hasn't been easy at all. Like even before I got to University of Ghana, I went through a lot. Like when we talk about poverty, I've slept outside people's homes.
You?
Yes. Like, they will tell my mother that, oh, I can accommodate her. But then my mom leaves and then they will let me sleep outside. I've slept in the church. It's not that I told anybody that I'm sleeping in the church. And this was not only me. It was me and my siblings. So there's a chapter in my book. It says 4 girls sleeping in the church. It's a whole chapter. Yeah, it's a whole chapter on it. So when we sleep there, we it's not like we exposed ourselves. No, we're hiding. So we were secretly living in the church.
Pretending like you guys are there praying.
Yeah, and Kwabena asked me why did it have to be this
way?
Go
to that lane?
Yeah, because my father left his job and we had to go and live in Kasua. So that is where he built his house.
Yeah.
And I mean, living in Kasua and going to school in Accra was really challenging because at the time there was no money for us to, come to Accra. Every time coming to Accra and going back and all. And the truth is, even though, sometimes it's hard to say it, but generally my dad wasn't a responsible dad.
Okay.
And so there was no foresight.
Yeah.
He thought that, even if he looked after us,
it'll be okay.
Like we won't come and take care of him. He used to say that we would take care of our mom, not him.
So he had that mindset.
He had that mindset. And so this was a dad who you would struggle to even get, school fees, like what we call tuition here. I mean, and this was what was happening to us when we were young children, growing up. So he didn't have the foresight, he wasn't responsible. So even though I had a father, it seemed like my mom was a single parent because everything was my mom.
Wow.
My mom would go and beg people at some point in our lives to pay our school fees, to give us food to eat. And so at some point he distributed us, let's use that word for lack of a better word, like 7 children. This person is staying with Kofi, this person is staying with Amma, and you can imagine the things we went through living with people who were not our relatives. That's why at some point my sisters and I, my 3 sisters and I decided to live in the church. And even at that time my dad passed away. My dad repented before he passed away, but you see the implications of his actions. He kind of lived on. So we were suffering. So when I was in high school, it was because of money issues. I couldn't even go to the school of my choice. I couldn't because I chose a school in Cape Coast. And at the time, my mother did not even need to tell me that let's not even go. I like looking at the situation, I knew that, this woman is trying. You saw my mom today. That woman has gone through. That woman is a real testimony that like God is there.
Wow.
Yes. For my mother to sit in a plane and come to Canada, I mean, it takes the grace of God. So I know people are going through similar challenges, and I've always had this burden to write a book so that people will see that a girl like me who once lived in Accra, and I've lived in the slums in Accra. You know, at Dabraka, you know those slums and Kwabena. If you saw where we were living in Dabraka, because at some point the church decided to rent a house for us, and it was a matchbox house. Let me describe it that way.
Wow.
And oh my goodness, the ceiling wasn't done well, so cats will be running and we'll sleep, they'll fall on us, we'll wake up and run.
It seems like it's like a movie.
I'm telling you,
It's like a movie.
and this is just a summary of the things
book.
you find in this book, Shining Ever Brighter. So the subtitle is From Nothing to Something, and I'm telling you, to the glory of God, that people who knew us when our father was, behaving that way, because we lived in a compound house, Anglo Gold Ashanti. It then used to be Ashanti Goldfields. So that's where we lived. And at some point, the company was paying our school fees. That's why when we're growing up, we got to go to some good schools. But when we left the company, babe, how's it called? Is it retrenchment? I was looking for that word. So that's how my dad left. Then things like, became
downhill.
Yeah. So people look at us, and you would expect that we will go in teenage pregnancy, but I thank God for my mom.
Yes,
she instilled in us the fear of God too. So even though we were suffering, nothing, it didn't even cross our minds that go and follow a foolish boy for money. No, we never did that. And I remember, Robert and Sons in Accra, they give glasses, and it's like a eye clinic in front of Robert and Sons. I have slept there before because there's nowhere for me to sleep.
Seriously?
Anyway, the church, they gave us that matchbox house. The cat will fall on us. Anytime it rained, we had to get out, come and sit outside, we'll be sleeping like this. We'll be sleeping like that. Because then the roof, it wasn't good. So the water will be, dripping on us. Kwabena, through all of these hardships, and this is just the summary. This is the book. If you want more details here, through all of these hardships, we were, I don't know, I just love education. That is why I have a PhD now.
We're gonna talk about that. We're really gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk
I
about
was just
that.
focused on God. My siblings we just focused on God, and we go to school, we are hungry. Oh, at a point in time, they even said I almost had ulcer, and they had to give me injections for ulcer. This was after I had come to Canada. The ulcer was sitting. I'm telling you, because we go 24 hours, 48 hours, no food. But
were you fasting and praying?
No, not that we're fasting and praying. This one is poverty, and sometimes, and God has given my siblings and I, we have music in our blood. So like as I'm saying, I sing in church, I'm in the worship team in my church and all. Sometimes we will sit down, sing on empty stomach. Then somebody will be knocking. The person said, I'm bringing you food. I'm telling you, we sing and God will open doors and bring food. I'm like hand to mouth. There was no hope for tomorrow. Like if anybody told me that one day I'll be sitting here in Canada,
writing a book,
with my doctorate degree. Right now I teach white people. I do research, talking to you, Kwabena. It's just the grace of God. So I mean, even when I finished University of Ghana, I really prayed to God. By God's grace, I still got my first class. And what was happening is at different stages of my life, God will bring different people to help. Until when one person comes and they help you to some extent, then they get tired, God will raise another person. God will raise another person. God will raise another person. That's how our lives has been. I remember when I went to my high school for my results, final results, the WASI, the headmaster shook me and said, "Shake me, university graduate," because at the time, if you get one F, he will give you 2 canes before you even leave the school. But me, he shook me, he said university graduate, and I was holding my results in my hands like this, walking to that matchbox house and asking God who will help me to go to university, like who will pay my school fees for me. But then God raised someone, and then by His grace, yes, I got the first class. I'm not the only person who had first class. My younger sister, she topped her class. My other sister, she's also on PhD. I mean, God came through for us. So I just wrote this book. You asked me one question, and this is how I'm responding. I wrote this book to let anybody who is going through struggles, especially in developing contexts like Ghana, know that you don't need to use that as an excuse to go and follow some boy or somebody's husband in the name of, it was because I was suffering. No, just live pure and put your hope on God, because there is indeed hope in God. And so that's how I finished school. God gave me a job. I was looking for scholarship. I would dream.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that one. Yeah.
So we can go there. Otherwise, I'll keep talking and talking.
I really
and talking.
wanted to kind of highlight that as well.
Yeah.
How did the Canada dream or the journey came about?
As for me, I don't know. For some reason, I just knew that I was not called to Ghana. I knew that.
No. Let's pause for a bit. So you were living in poverty,
but
living in church,
yes,
living on street. People bring you, but you knew deep inside.
But I knew deep inside
Ghana was not for you.
No, that Ghana wasn't for me. Because now I would dream, and I would see myself teaching white people. So I'm like, wow. Like, so every time, and especially in university, and when I finished university, I was looking for scholarships.
Okay.
And guys, you watch that video, you see I talk specifically about the scholarship and how that process even was. I was looking for scholarship. Every time I would sleep, I would see, even one time, I had a dream. I met my sister, and where we met, it wasn't Ghana, because it was, these abroad buses, and we saw white people. So I knew from that dream that my sister too, God will open a door for my sister to travel.
Wow.
So when God opened the door for me, and I came to Canada, like 1 year or so, God opened the door for her to go to South Africa, and then she came from she left South Africa and came here.
So she's in Canada too.
Yes, she's in Canada too. So
Wow.
Yes, it's just like a desire that God put in my heart. So at some point when I was in Ghana and I wasn't getting the scholarship, it took me like 5 years to get the scholarship for the PhD.
5 years?
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years after I finished my undergrad.
How many applications did you actually put in there?
I cannot even count. Let's talk about UK, Germany. In fact, name it. I was prepared to go anywhere. Iceland, crank, Meko.
You were determined.
Yes. And then I don't get. I remember one scholarship in Germany. They gave me 50%, and I'm like, Kwame, who is coming to me? I'm like, God, if you are giving me the scholarship, me my own, it has to be full. Otherwise, I cannot go. So my scholarship partner, it even paid for my airfare. Okay, it paid for my airfare to Kingston.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it gave me a laptop, like full ride.
Wow. So that was a
ride.
Wow.
Yes. And the day it came, the way I was jumping, actually we had lights out, Ghana. I'm doing so. So I'm like, oh. And the next day, my phone was off.
Yeah.
But before I went to work, the lights came on. So immediately the lights came on, I put my phone on. Then I saw the email and I opened it and said, congratulations, come and see me screaming and shouting. But now, even before that, God opened a door for me to go to, there's a fellowship, it's called Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders.
Okay.
So they choose leaders who are doing an amazing job in their careers in Ghana. And at the time, I was working with DataBank Foundation. So I was, doing corporate social responsibility for them, helping vulnerable people in the society, advocating for them, and so on and so forth. So the United States government, they recognized it. I went through the process.
Wow.
They chose me. I was one of 18 people
in
to be
Africa.
chosen in Ghana. They chose just 18 people in Ghana. And they choose different people from 50 African countries. And we all go to the States. So God opened that door for me. So I'm a Mandela Washington Fellow. And I actually even got another opportunity to serve on the board. So I was on the regional advisory committee. So God started even opening these doors for me before the scholarship
even came. So,
yes.
So the foundation was set.
Exactly. And my where I was working to, even though there was opposition and stuff, God opened the door for me to go to US for 1 week. So all of these things, I went through it before actually coming to Canada. At a point, my mother just couldn't believe it. My mother
is
like,
happening.
Wow. At a point, she said, "Hey, Asante." My mom calls me Asante. She said, "Hey, Asante, nah, abroad and you are going like
Just
you are
like
going
that.
from Adabaka to Seke."
Wow.
Because the list I say, hey, they've selected me. They said we are going to New York and we are coming back and DC.
Just like that.
I went to DC for 2 weeks. I came back. So God started doing amazing things, and then finally He opened the PhD door for me. So also to encourage somebody here that if you are believing God for something and it hasn't come yet, God has not forgotten you. So please don't give up. I am a strong woman of faith because my background, there was nobody to help me.
You lean on God.
Yes.
But how was that actually, now finally, it's not a dream anymore?
Yes.
You were in Canada.
I'm in Canada. Yeah.
How was the transition for you? Because going through what you went through in Ghana, that must have served you as a good motivation.
Yes.
So when you came in, how was it for you, and how were you able to move at a full speed?
So me, it's something that I had been praying for years, and then God gave me the opportunity.
Yes.
So my heart, my soul, my mind,
Everybody
my
was in it.
spirit, everything was in it. I needed either I succeed or I succeed. There's nothing like
there's no plan B.
There's no plan B.
Yeah.
I succeed or I
succeed.
succeed. And in my PhD program, like it was really tough because I mean, compare the Ghana education. Even though I was doing well in Ghana,
Right.
I got first class in Ghana. Please, that first class, don't let it get to your head, because you know the education system in Ghana here is completely different. So
yeah.
here I was, I'm here, and then I'm like, ish, and me that like I believe in myself that you know God has given me intelligence, and then I come here and because you know at the PhD level you sit in the class with Canadians, and most of the time Canadians who are doing their PhD, most of the time they're exceptional.
Yeah, advanced.
Yeah, they're exceptional.
Advanced,
Otherwise, they won't even bother to do a PhD.
Yeah.
You know, because you know here you don't need PhD.
No,
to
not
succeed,
really. No.
Right. So they follow their passion. So they don't do PhD because just they want to get PhD. If they are doing PhD, it means they really want to do it.
Yeah.
So it was really challenging. But one guy advised me. He said, "Santua, you need to work twice the Canadian.
Okay.
Yes, put that thing in your head, and that will help you." So that's how I started. You know, I knew that every time I was studying, I knew that hey, these Canadians, they're already because they've been going daycare here. They've been doing everything here.
Yeah.
They started doing presentations at an early age. Me, when I came here, they said I should come and do presentation. Now my heart, I can't sleep throughout the whole night, because even though by God's grace I'm bright, like in Ghana and you know we're so many. So how often do we even do presentations? You can go through a degree program, a 4-year degree program, without doing a presentation for once in your life. You see, so you may be good, but you know all of these skills, you know, here too you need social skills to survive. It's not just about you know, in Ghana most of the time you chew the thing and then you go and pour. No. Here when they say critical thinking, it's critical thinking. So it was really challenging for me in my first year, but by God's grace and hard work and having Canadian friends. And another advice I give to people, especially who are migrating here and stuff, when you come, don't just put yourself in a Ghanaian bubble and all your friends are Ghanaians and no. If you really wanted to do that, then why did you even come here?
Bother.
So you know, spread your wings, like have Canadian friends. You know, they will teach you so many things. So I have really good Canadian friends who were also great study partners who helped me to do well. And my scholarship was just for like 3 years and 4 months. So my supervisor from day one, hey, because we need to otherwise then you have to pay international school fees, and I couldn't do that. So God helped me. I finished, I did my comms and the comprehensive exams. If you don't pass for my school, you and the department I was in, you leave, they kick you out of the program. So the comms was a really big deal, but God saw me through that one too. I finished, I even got a publication out of it. So and throughout all of these things, God was with me. I didn't say I've come to abroad, so I won't go to church again. I was actively involved in my local church. Like still helping, and then I'm praying, and then I'm engaging with people and socializing, doing everything I need to do. And by God's grace, I did well, and I graduated, and we are here. And right now, I'm able to. I teach. Taught white people, so you see that dream.
So the dream that you had,
exactly,
it actually came true.
Yeah, it actually came through. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Canada has done a lot for you.
Oh yes, Canada has done a lot for me.
Wow.
Yeah, Canada. Canada is a great country, and even me at the time, I wasn't even thinking about Canada. It's not like it was in my head. My mind was more because I had done things in the US. I had visited US before, so I was thinking US. At some point, I even wrote the GRE because I knew that. If I have the desire to travel and the opportunity comes and they say, do you have GRE?
You want to be ready.
You don't. Yes, you want to be ready. You know, so if you want to come to Canada, wherever you want to go, be ready. You know, it's
passport
body,
has to be ready, everything.
Passport, everything. It's not now the opportunity. Transcripts, everything. You know, be on your guard. God will tell you, He will do this for you. But if you sit down and you sleep, the thing may never come to pass. So you need to be really, really proactive. And then searching. Somebody sent me the link that, you know, try this one too and see if it works. And then I tried Canada, and then I came.
And this is what it
came. Then I came. Yeah, I remember.
And this is what has come out of it.
And so I wrote this book to encourage people, you know. And so this captures my journey right from childhood in Accra, Ghana.
You can find all these
everything. Yeah, my dad, my mom, my siblings, my journey. you know, how I got to University of Ghana, even before University of Ghana, my life experiences and the lessons drawn after University of Ghana, the work that I did, the people that I met, everything is here.
So where can people find this book
so it's on Amazon.com, it's on Amazon.ca too, for those people who are in Canada. You find it on Apple Books. So if you wanted even a Kindle version, that is even cheaper. You get that. Apple Books too, you get the soft copy. In Ghana, we are on, you know, Book Nook. They're actually called Book Nook.
Okay.
And they are in Ghana. So what they do is they can ship anywhere.
Whatever you want.
So they sell my books for me, and I have it with a number of other people too. The number is not in my head. Maybe I'll give it to you later. I can show it on the screen. But it's really distributed.
And what is the prices though? Like price range, Canadian dollars or US?
Please help me with the price.
Just a range. Are we looking at $20-$50 or what? About 20 to 40.
Yes, 20 to 40.
Yeah, so 20 to 40.
So,
and this captures all your life, your journey,
captures,
and everything.
And in Ghana, we try to even print in Ghana. So, and because we want people to read the book, we are selling it in Ghana at 50 cedis. Because you know, if you go to Ghana, you want to charge like $30. How we are selling it here for $30.
Yes.
The average Ghanaian, and because of my poor background, I understand, you know, all those dynamics.
Yes.
So all childhood till my postdoc. I did my postdoc in the States,
in the US.
Michigan State University.
So all of them can be captured here.
Everything is captured here.
So is this someone that is in mind that you would like to actually thank, or they be influential in your life? Because having this book here, you know what I mean? It won't just come, you know, there's gotta be some people that are behind it, some inspirational.
So me, first person I'll thank is my mom.
Okay.
And the
what about hubby?
Values. He's coming.
Hubby's coming.
He's coming. And the values that she instilled in me to make me the kind of person that Kweku would even be attracted to want to marry. Kweku is my husband, right? Yeah. And you know, my family and my siblings, and like we supported each other. We pushed each other. I'm coming from a kind of family where, you know, Kwabena, like these chips right here, if I were to come to your house and you gave me these chips, I'll ask if I can take some home. Because as I'm eating, I'm thinking about my siblings. That's how we grew up. So we are always thinking about each other. Because I'm eating, I know that my sister is at home, she's hungry. So the kind of support that my family gave me, I always pray that God will continue to bless my family. And of course, my husband. Kweku is, I don't know how to describe Kweku, but I always describe Kweku as an asset.
It's an asset.
Kweku has, I really, I don't even know the words to use, but he is such a strong pillar, you know, and he is supportive. Like he's the real example of a Christian, you know, born again believer, husband who is looking at pleasing God and not man. So he's a typical example of, like, I don't know, just he's just God sent. Let me put Kweku that way. So shout out to Kweku for like all his support. And this he says, so what, how do you want to do? I said, this is what I want to do. Like he's behind me. Okay, if I do something doesn't work, you say, God, he's my encourager. Always. He's my support. He's my everything. So God richly bless you. Babe. So if you're watching, maybe he's even listening. So I want to thank Kweku. And I mean, some key people, even in this book, I mentioned them. There's this man called Uncle Sam. So I am Mr. and Mrs. Ejipon. He lives in Ghana, but he goes to the UK a lot. And the wife, you know, we at some point when we were struggling, suffering, we went to their church and they took us in. Like this man, when I was in University of Ghana, every month he and the wife, they would sign check 60 Ghana cedis for me at the time, And it's not only me, they were doing it for my siblings and they were doing it for other people in the church. So the man was our music director and I was singing in the worship team with my siblings. So, and this man helped and made the church even pay our school fees in University of Ghana. Wow. So the church was paying my school fees. Wow. And then they were even paying for my accommodation fees as well. Wow. And even before this man, Uncle Sam and Auntie Francis, they stepped in. There's this man also who also even acted as my father. And you see all these people, you come across them in the book. His name is Uncle Eric Goka. I pray that God will bless that man because he paid for my first University of Ghana school fees.
Means a lot.
You know, yeah,
Means
I
a lot.
called him on the phone. My sister was like, let's call Uncle Eric and see. So I called him on the phone, and I was even asking him for, you know, those times they would give you could take loan. And so I was even looking for guarantors. The man never signed. He rather said I should meet him in the church. It's like, let's say, from now I call you at 9 a.m. and you say that meet me in the church at 10 a.m. I met him in the church. He gave me money to go and pay my first school fees. So Uncle Eric, like, God has brought different people my way who have encouraged me in diverse ways. And I also want to thank this guy. His name, he's a doctor now. His name is Dr. DeLawrence Lamte. So he also studied at Queen's University. He's actually my senior. And I'm giving him a shout out. I don't know if you see this video or not, but I'm giving him a shout out because he's the one who sent me the link to apply to the doctorate program in Canada.
Wow.
Yes, he was already in the program. So he said, oh, why don't you try this? And, you know, and even at the time, I had tried so many things that was not working. So now I was tired at that time. But the Holy Spirit prompted me, and I went back to the application, and I'm like, let me just do this thing. And so I was late. I was late. So when they sent me back an email and they said, oh, you can send in your documents, and I'm like, I'm late. They said, well, we consider people who applied before you but still apply. So very, very late. And even posting my documents, I didn't have money, so I did a normal post. Anybody who had money would have done maybe DHL or something like that, but it still got there by God's grace. And then they did the interview. That time too, I had to find internet, you know, and then I did the interview with them, and God being so good, they selected me. So I really thank that guy. And yes, and I mean, and the list goes on and on. But and in terms of even academia, God gave me a very nice supervisor who has been supportive even up till now, you know, and even for my postdoc and things like that. So I want to thank all of them. And if I haven't mentioned your name, you know, don't worry. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. It's just I can't mention everybody's name, but these are some really key people. And I even want to thank, I know this is political, this person is a political figure in Ghana and all, but he has been good to me. My first trip to the US, he is the one who sponsored it. I was working in his organization. This is the Minister of Finance, Ken Furiata.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so even in one of my trips, his wife gave me her winter jacket because I came in the fall. Yes, so shout out. She's a doctor, Dr. Angela Furiata. She's a clinical psychologist. Actually, she teaches in the medical school. She used to teach in the medical school in Kolebu. And so, yeah, these people
very key pillars in your life.
Very key pillars in my life. I remember my first trip with Ken to New York. He gave me $100. He said, go out for dinner, you know. And I remember that $100. I brought it back to Ghana, and I took it to church. I said, God, I'm giving you this $100. Please take me back abroad and let me spend dollars. I'm telling you, today we are sitting here now and
enjoying some glass.
The dollars, and you know, let me sip my.
Wow.
So Ken Furiata, you meet Ken Furiata even in my book. In fact, let me see. Let me show you a photo.
A little bit of that.
I'll show you a photo. I think I have a photo of Ken Furiata somewhere.
Also, you have pictures in it.
Oh yeah, I have pictures in it. Like my life. Look at my masters, my siblings.
You can show it to the camera.
You see all of these pictures. There are many photos.
DC,
Washington DC.
Everything is in there.
Yeah, the photos and all. This is my Yali Fellowship. Look at my siblings.
Oh, the siblings.
Look at my siblings. They are in here. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Honorable Ken Furiata.
He's also
he is here, right here.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys. So this was my trip with Ken to New York City. We actually went to a place called Pocantico at Manhattan. So yeah, so this man, I really appreciate Ken Furiata. So you see all the photos here. You see the white people. This is me standing in NYC.
Yeah,
and then
chilling.
Yeah. So girls are girls are
what's gonna be your last word there?
That girls are but God is faithful. And so whatever you're believing God for, maybe you want to japa, you want to come abroad, you want to just, you know, be diligent in your ways, you know. And Kwabena, my last words, I want to say that, you know, when I came, the Bible says that the blessing of the Lord He maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. I told you, I got a full scholarship. I didn't come and then, hey, I don't have this, I'm stranded. No. Me, I believe that when God opens the door for you,
full door,
He will not open it for you to be stranded in airports. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just wait on God. Like, in His own time, the Bible says that He makes all things beautiful.
Amen.
I finished my school. By God's grace, I applied to my PR. I got my PR.
I see your video.
By God's grace, I'm even Canadian citizen.
You have the passport now.
Yes, I have the passport now.
Wow.
And I was just sharing with Kwabena how nice it is traveling with the Canadian passport. Because I went to South Africa and I went to Botswana. Oh my God, 3 seconds in the country and then in and out. It's just so fast. The Canadian passport is a blessing. Oh my goodness, it's a blessing. So by God's grace, we are here. My husband is here. God has blessed us with twin girls. God is just amazing. So trust the process. Don't be in a hurry.
So it makes me think that this is probably chapter 2. It's going to be chapter 3, chapter 4 of your life.
Yeah.
So there's more to come.
Because this one,
So I'm getting my copy.
Yes.
I think I'm actually buying 3 copies to really make sure we support our sister and get the story out there. And I know most of us share similar stories out there, one way or the other. So I think if you're somewhere remote area,
right,
you can take more inspiration from this. So definitely make sure you get this book from Amazon or get it from all the other websites that you call. Even if there's be a link of numbers and other things where you can actually order. So I don't know if I probably we'll think
talk
we're probably gonna wrap it up.
Because we don't want to. How many minutes?
It's already been 30 minutes.
Oh my goodness!
But it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
But thank you so much for having me.
No worries.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.